Hi! Within this lecture, we're going to see how we can get data from HTTPS websites as well. So within the previous lectures, within the Man-in-the-Middle framework lectures, we have discussed this. But again, if you have missed them for some reason, I'm going to explain what is HTTPS one more time. So this is linkedin.com, and as you can see, this is running on my host machine. I'm not under any attack right now, so it's not man in the middle. It's not even a virtual machine. This is my own machine, and I'm in linkedin.com. As you can see, I have this sign over here indicating that this website uses HTTPS. This is secure HTTP. Okay, so everything coming and going around on this IP is encrypted right now. So even if I get the content, even if I see that there are some packets regarding to linkedin.com, I cannot get the contents of those packets because they would be encrypted. Okay, so even if I'm man in the middle, even if I get the packets, even if I double click on them, I won't see the details. So in order to see the details, we have to make sure this runs on HTTP rather than HTTPS, like deleting this S and hitting enter one more time. Of course, it won't work in this case, but just to visualize what we're trying to do, it's like that. We are stripping the S and we are running this on HTTP when we try to downgrade HTTPS to HTTP. Previously, we did that with SSL strip on Man-in-the-Middle framework, but this time we're going to use better cap, so we better learn about the caplets. So what are the caplets and why do we use them? Let me show you. We're going to use BetterCap, right? And caplets in BetterCap actually are some sort of codes that we run when we try to attack to the targets. So let me start BetterCap as we usually do with iFace ETH0, okay? And by the way, if you want to get out of BetterCap in any time, you can just run this exit, okay? It will exit out to BetterCap. So let me run this one more time and let me run help, because there is no module running right now, right? So we have seen how to work with net.prob, net.recon, net.snf, and even arp.spoof. So none of them is working right now because we started BetterCap from scratch. So bear in mind that every time you open the BetterCap, you have to run net.prob, arp.spoof, and even you have to specify the targets from the scratch. You have to make sure you set full duplex to true from scratch when you open BetterCap. So right now, I'm interested in caplets. So what are caplets and how we can see them? If you run this code, caplets.show, it will show the caplets, the scripts that we may want to run with BetterCap, and you can see the locations of those caplets. So let me make this a little bit bigger so we can see the whole list. As you can see, we see the caplet name and we see the caplet path over here. So path is the location that we can find this caplet file. So they are actually stored under user share BetterCap caplets folder right now. But for some reason, if you cannot find those information, like if you say caplets.show but none of them shows up, or if you say caplets.show if just a few of them shows up, then don't worry, I'm going to show you where you can find the caplets and just manually import them as well. But for in my case, I can come over here to other locations, and under computer I can look for user folder, okay? And under user folder I have share, and under share I have BetterCap. So let me find the BetterCap over here. Yep, this one. And under better cap, as you can see, we already have this caplets folder, and inside of this caplets folder we have various caplets, various scripts that we may want to run with better cap attacks. For example, we're going to use HSTS hijack over here, and let me show you where you can find the latest caplets samples over the internet. So let me go to google.com, and over here I'm just going to search for GitHub better cap. So again, this is stored under GitHub, and this is actually open source. Remember, we use GitHub to find source codes, share source codes, collaborate with other developers as well. So over here we see the better cap files. We can actually download better cap from here rather than saying apt-get install better cap as well. But it's much better way to install this through the repositories of Kali Linux. So let me scroll up a little bit, and I'm gonna find something called caplets over here, and it's located over here at the top. If you click on that, you can see there are some scripts over here, okay, but this is not the particular thing that we are looking for. We are looking for caplet samples. So let me go to better cap folder over here. So we were in this better cap tool, but as you can see there are some caplets tool as well. So if you come over here, you will see the samples. So these are the exact samples that we have in our Kali Linux right now. So as you can see, you can actually compare them to your list as well. And if you cannot see them over here, you can just download them and copy and paste them in that folder. Okay, so you have to copy them exactly in the same folder that I have shown you under user, share, better cap, caplets. So once you do that, you will be ready to use them. And again, we are interested in this HSTS hijack. So we discussed what HSTS is before, and we're going to discuss that in this lecture as well. So over here we have the JavaScript code, and we have this caplet file over here. In the caplet file, in the .cap file, we actually configure how to use this JavaScript code. And for some reason, it's not working very well at this moment. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to find this, use this efficiently. So we're going to edit this cap file. And even it was working fine, it's good to go into that file so that we can learn how to edit cap files, so that we can actually create our own cap files when we need to later on. So if you right click over here, I have this open with Genie, but I believe you don't have Genie in your Kali Linux, so this is an optional software that you can actually install, but we're going to use LeafPad in order to run this. So let me come over here and open a new terminal. Let me minimize this, and in this terminal I'm going to go into that folder and then LeafPad that cap file. So the way to do that is to run cd ... and if you say ls, you can see the user folder over here. So say cd user, cd share, cd better cap, okay, and then cd caplets. And then finally we can actually go into the HSTS hijack, so that if I say ls right now, I would see this HSTS hijack.cap. Now I want to open that with LeafPad, so let me zoom in so you can see it better. Let me close this down because we're not gonna use it anymore. So over here we want to open this HSTS hijack cap, so I'm gonna run LeafPad HSTS hijack.cap. So it will open that file in LeafPad, and as you can see, we have a configuration file over here. So as I said before, this won't work when you run it because there are some bugs over here, and we're gonna take care of that, don't worry. And you have to follow every step that I'm doing right now, and even if they fix it, as I said before, even if they fix it with some updates later on, it would be much better for you to understand what we are doing in the background so that you can understand better. And furthermore, I'm going to share the content of this caplet, or actually the caplet file itself, in the resources of the next lecture. So for some reason, if you cannot get it done, or if you just run it and it doesn't work, make sure you download my cap file and put it on your Kali Linux folder. So over here, you can see the documentation. It says that, yeah, you can find the documentation over here. We have already been there, I believe, in the Better Cap HSTS hijack caplet. We haven't read the documentation, but don't worry, I'm going to explain everything. So over here, as you can see, we have some parameters, we have some options. For example, we have some hsts hijack.log, hsts hijack.ignore, hsts hijack.targets, replacements, block scripts, obfuscate, and encode and payloads. Okay, so what are those and why do we want to change them? So there's some weird things here like that, facebook.com and facebook.com. I'm going to explain each of them, don't worry. But for right now, I want to change the bugs. So over here, as you can see, the log file, it's logging everything that we're doing with this Better Cap. In fact, we don't need this log file, okay? We're not going to work with logs, but just to make it right, we have to get rid of this local, because as you can see, our software isn't under this folder, it's under user share Better Cap. So it says that user local share Better Cap, and it causes a bug, okay? So make sure you delete the local if there is a local over here. And it's the same thing as payloads as well. As you can see, we have this SSL strip, we have this hsts hijack.js and everything over here. So this is buggy as well because we don't have user local share Better Cap, we have user share. So delete the local from here, okay? And we're gonna use this hsts hijack.javascript. So we are leaving this as it is. But in the payloads, we don't need SSL strip because we're going to use hsts hijack.javascript anyhow. So we're going to get rid of this SSL strip and we're going to leave only the keylogger.js over here. So let me tell you what are those. So payloads are the payloads. Payloads are the malicious files, malicious codes that we want to run against the target. So I'm deleting all of this because we won't be using them. We're only going to use keylogger, and just we have to delete the local from here as well. And after the keylogger, it's actually deletable as well. So we want to get rid of everything after keylogger, like Firefox bypass and other stuff as well. So these are the payloads that we're not going to use. So why do we use keylogger? In order to get the keylogs from the target, because we're going to run an HSTS attack, we're going to run some SSL attack to the target, and we're getting the information from the target, and we are trying to understand the username and password of the target at this case. And it's nice to have a JavaScript code running a keylogger in order to log every keystroke of the target, so that even if we miss something like a username or a password from the user, maybe it will be captured by keylogger. So we are running a keylogger against the target with this code as well. But this is not the main reason that we are using this, okay? The main reason is the HSTS hijack. And over here in the encode section, we have to make this false. We don't want anything to be encoded at this moment. And this is it. This is to fix the bugs. Later on in the next lecture, we're going to do the most important configuration over here with targets and replacements. And then we would be ready to attack the target.